everybody, and welcome to Do You Even Art? This is episode 4. If you noticed, I've stopped doing them on a daily basis. It just started to get to be a little bit too much for me to do 2 hours every night, talking about the same old crap over and over again. Good news is I'm going to do at least once a week. I'm going to try to do them on Saturdays. Might be a little bit earlier. That's why it's important to follow me on social media, because I am not the most consistent when it comes to getting stuff uploaded. But the good news is I'm here at 10:39 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're here to do a whole bunch of art stuff tonight, because I have a lot that I need to get going. So, without further ado, welcome. I am ThatStevenRice. This is Do You Even Art? And I just want to talk to you about art and other stuff, whatever comes up in my melon. So, if you've been following me, even remotely, over the past couple of weeks, I've been working on a portrait. The portrait is a anniversary present for a friend, for his wife, that he commissioned me for. And here's where we're at so far. We're very, very close to finally getting everything done, which I'm of the utmost happy about, because it's been a little bit of a struggle. I've been not feeling the most creative lately, which, when you're trying to do art full time, is kind of a death sentence, but you have to try to keep working and keep working and keep working, and that's what I've been doing. And I was overworking it at times, and either way, let's take a look. As you see, a piece of art right here. Here's where we're kind of at. I added a lot of color in the background. I did my normal white outline, which I want to fix this one here. That's what I'm going to be working on tonight. I'm going to be adding a lot more colored pencil stuff over top of some of the other layers. I believe that's where I'm going to be going to next. Let me just shuffle some things around here. That looks a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to be working mostly with just adding the last final bits of colored pencil and stuff like that in there. And we should be finishing this one up here tonight. So tonight's topics, like I said, first things first, I want to really talk about doing art as a potential career. I want to talk about what happens when you might have personal things that are just really affecting getting your art completed, and just other stuff that can happen that will just cause headaches for you, because no one's perfect and everybody has moods that can affect things. So while I'm adding some details, just getting some more highlights on the hand and stuff like that, what we'll be really kind of wanting to discuss here is where I've been mentally and where I've been artistically over the past week or so. Because as you know, it's been quite a few days since my last broadcast and quite a few days since my last video. And there was a couple different things. Life always tends to happen. Sometimes at the worst times. Sometimes it happens and it's not fun. let's be honest there. So, if you don't know me personally, which a few of you out there who are watching might not, I do have a few issues with things like anxiety, and that goes with social anxiety. It goes with workplace anxiety. I have a lot of problems that I've been trying to work through without the aid of medications and stuff like that, just because I just want to. And some days I don't feel like getting up out of my bed to do anything. And when you're a dad, you don't have that option, especially when it's a child who's under 5 years old, who hasn't started school yet. He starts this year. So I have to kind of make compromises with myself. And this week, one of those compromises was I'll get up, I'll do my dadly duties because I love doing them. I love hanging out with my son. Even though some days dad might be a little bit boring, to be fair, I still like spending time with him. But one of those things was I started to get insomnia, but it wasn't the type of insomnia where you feel like still doing stuff or you feel productive in any way whatsoever. So I'd wake up at 7, 8 o'clock with him. We'd do whatever we do, and then by the time it came time to do my artwork, my streams and stuff like that, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And that's not maybe the best thing to admit to when I'm trying to build up an audience and start a stream and everything like that. But I am going to be honest with you. Sometimes I just didn't feel, at least in this instance, this week, I didn't feel like talking about art. I still did some work on a project that cannot be streamed. Have some good stuff coming up, but unfortunately, it's something that I can't stream. In fact, the window is right here. And I named my file very specifically so that it's not very easily told what it is unless you know my weird shorthand styles of stuff. But I have that commission to do there. And I was still doing work on that, but not nearly as much as I should have. And being that I couldn't stream that, it was another in a line of excuses to not have to worry about doing the stream. So in general, it was just one of those things where I just was not in the mood to really talk about things, but I still need to get stuff done, and that's kind of a struggle. Not every artist has live streams of them doing their work, so they don't really need to worry about that. But it was something I had to worry about this week, and that's when I decided, hey, no one needs to hear somebody talking about art for 2 hours every single night on the same piece. Because I was mostly working on this piece for a very large chunk of the time that I had for my first 3 episodes. And there's not too much more to say about this piece. It's just a lot of final rendering, cleaning up some lines and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit sharper, which is where I was struggling so bad with this piece, was to make sure that the lines just look right. And I'm not too sure why I'm having such a struggle with it. But it's looking better than it did. Because I did do some work on this, approximately, I don't know, about maybe an hour's worth of work overall. But with that being said, I'm getting distracted because I forgot to share that I was actually going live both on Facebook and on Twitter. So, oopsie daisy, as it were. Alright, so that's all done. Maybe we'll get some viewers here. And kind of go from there. So, I didn't feel like doing anything. And that's a terrible thing to say, but I really didn't. And I was even struggling with the piece that I can't stream right now. I was struggling there too. I just didn't know what to do, and I was really, really worried when I turned in the comp to the person who wanted me to do the work. I was just like, oh no, I think they're gonna think this is the worst thing in the history of ever. But turns out they like the comp, and we're, you know, taking it to color and going from there. And I'm going to do a couple variations of that other piece and see how it goes. But yeah, it's rough when you're dealing with anxieties and stuff like that, like I am, to do what needs to be done sometimes. So that's why I kind of took a step back and decided to have the stream be once or twice a week. And I'm going to focus more on doing some pre-recorded videos during the week then, because I can just kind of maybe bang out 2 or 3 of those, keep them around 10-15 minutes, and not have to worry about releasing them. I can do an entire week's worth in a day, have them staggered, and everything will be fine. And then you guys won't be without content and without hearing my lovely, lovely voice. But with that being said, we're just going to kind of continue through, finish this piece up here. And I'm going to try a couple of things color-wise, which is where that's where I'm going to kind of get moving here then. I'm unsure color-wise what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to throw some of the LUTs on here and just see if there's anything that might make it just look a little bit more vibrant, maybe bring some stuff out of the background that I didn't see before or anything, because I tried to make the background kind of abstract but still look a little bit detailed. Like you can see some tree branches and stuff here and there. But I'm just going to see if there's anything that kind of jumps out to me. And if there's not, there's not. Not a huge issue. Let me see here. I'm wondering, do an apply image here. Converted. This actually might be kind of cool. Let's work with this a little bit. I do enjoy the late sunset look. Sometimes it just warms things up a little bit. And let's see here. World hates me there. All right. I think that looks pretty cool. I like that. All right. So what I am going to do here then, I want to here. Group everything together, and just see here. I'm going to duplicate it. Got that real copy there. All right, and just to see, I'm going to go ahead and merge these. And I want to see what happens if I put a unsharp mask on it here. I want to see what effect it has on the faces and stuff like that. So let me just see. I don't think it is going to be enough of a difference that it matters. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Bring all those back. I actually think this isn't too shabby. I wish my computer could handle streaming and doing my art all at the same time, but it apparently hates that sometimes. Luckily, I am getting some new hardware in, hopefully, within a week or two. That'll help me out on that side of things. So, I thought that was just way too thick there. I am redoing the outside line. Oh, much better, much better. And once we finish this up, I'm not going to end the stream. What I'm planning on doing then, once I finish up this piece, is maybe just kind of sketching out some stuff and just talking about my non-portrait process a little bit. Because honestly, coming up with my own ideas sometimes is a weak point for me, which may sound weird to people out there who are already artists, but it's not the easiest thing for me. I sometimes think of an idea, I think it might be the most original idea in history, and guess what? It's not even close. So, we'll see what happens. I might do that, just kind of sketch around and show all my foibles and failures when it comes to doing those types of sketches, but kind of debating on that line being there or not. I like the separation that it gives. But I'm not sure if the client would like the separation it gives. Maybe if I just do that. There we go. A couple little lines here and there. I like that. That works for me. Next thing I wanted to do is way back on the background layer. I like doing little kind of squiggly lines and stuff like that. Just kind of break things up occasionally. Give some variety in the background. Sometimes this stuff works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's one thing one of the reasons I do like working digitally is I can do non-destructive stuff on a different layer just to see how the feeling is, and sometimes just adding a couple little squiggly lines is all it takes. Make something feel at least a little bit more complete, more like an actual piece of art and not a photograph. I'm liking that. Next thing I always try to throw in when I can, but usually doesn't work, is I use this Impressionist canvas brush quite liberally. That's kind of dimension to certain points, and then I bring it over to overlay. Sometimes I like doing this. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't work, depending on the piece, but kind of liking it on this one, because it makes it feel almost like it was pasted onto a scrapbook kind of poorly. And that the glue's, not as strong as it used to be, kind of thing. Kind of dig it. Yeah. It just gives it a little something. And that's it. From what I'm seeing here, that's as done as it's going to be for now, barring any changes that the actual client has for it. I'm kind of happy with this. So I am going to do my signature. And sometimes I just use the pencil brush for it. Sometimes I use the actual paintbrush kind of thing here. So make it as unobtrusive as possible. I know it looks obtrusive right now, but it's not going to be when I'm done with what I do. I'm not sure on the place. Yeah, that's the best ones for it. I always like to move it around and check, but that is where we're at with that one here. Yeah, so not much more that I can say about that piece overall. I'd say it's pretty much done. Like I said, we'll see what the client actually says. I'm gonna save a JPEG of it to be able to send over proofing and see what he thinks. I'll do all that stuff tomorrow or after the stream because don't need to see his email address and all that kind of fun stuff. That's not needed. Keep in mind, if you are watching this, and say if you find it even remotely a tiny bit, even a little bit of helpful in any way or anything like that, please use the donation link in the description below. Shoot me a couple of bits of cash or whatever, just to help out, just to kind of keep things kind of rolling here. I really would appreciate it if you could. That'd be awesome, and you'd get a shout out on the next show or even in my next video, possibly, depending on what's kind of going on. So what I'm gonna do now for the next bit of the stream here, I know the first part was only about 23 minutes, which I was expecting it to take me a little bit longer, and then all of a sudden things fell into place, which is really odd. That doesn't always happen. But where I'm gonna kind of go now is I'm gonna just kind of paint, very kind of freehand. I don't have an idea in mind of what I'm gonna end up doing. To be fair, I don't. So we'll just kind of sketch around and see what kind of feeling I'm getting there. Trying to find a right brush, one that's kind of not too laggy and gives at least a little bit of texture and stuff that we can kind of work with. Gouache wasn't too bad. Yeah, that's what we'll go for, because I think big enough brush I could get some fun shapes out of that. Okay. And I probably will change my mind at some point with it, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of paint around and kind of see if anything kind of shows up out of my brain that might be fun. I'll do some type of creature design. Just kind of see. Not worried about texture and stuff yet, so I'm just gonna use this. Let's just kind of see. I like creatures that usually have real big eyes and stuff like that. And let's just kind of see what I can kind of come up with. It'll be hard to kind of tell what anything is until, you know, more detail gets in there. But this is just about, right now it's just about painting and getting stuff on the canvas and seeing where it takes you. And you know, this creature looks like it's going to end up being more humanoid than I was originally thinking he was going to be. That's fine, because I'm kind of seeing a foreshortened kind of hand here. It could be kind of a claw, something like that. Right up front. But I do like creatures with big eyes. Usually just one big gigantic eye. So that is what that is going to end up being. One part about things like this is you don't have to. There might have been a little bit gap in the stream. Looks like OBS crashed on me for some reason. I apologize. Yeah, this is all mostly gonna be just done on one layer until I get the shape that I'm looking for and kind of go from there. So he has one big round eye here. That one very good. So let's see what we can do. That'll be kind of cool. Back to darker here. Have him kind of staring directly at us, reaching into our souls. Make sure his claw is at least visible, a little bit separated there. Alright. Who knows what I'm going to probably do, since the other project I am working on is a super top secret project. Probably next few episodes of the live stream are going to be about building this guy up, or whatever I end up sketching here. Alright, let's throw some actual darker colors in here. Some more separation. And this is all way different from the style you've seen me do so far. Because honestly, this is me kind of just wanted to practice it. I'm not the greatest at doing this kind of stuff yet. Maybe eventually I'll get better, and then things will progress and it'll be awesome. Right now I am just practicing and having fun and seeing where it may end up taking me. I'm going to go over to a oily kind of brush. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. kind of a old school sci-fi B-movie kind of feel. I think would be fun. For this one at least. We'll see. We will see. It'll either turn out pretty fun, or it'll turn out horribly, and you'll learn from my mistakes. But yeah, what I'd like to see with him is, I'd like to see it come out pretty good. At least as I'm building up the details and stuff. And light wise, I'm thinking, let's see, if we look at him, if we're gonna have the light coming down, probably, you know, from that direction. So I'm gonna make this a lot darker. That way it'll be hitting this side of him. Be able to pick up a lot of detail in the eye, and then a lot of detail in the hand, and down here can be a lot darker. So let's get that to going. Add a lot of that darkness in. Come on now. Let's see what forms kind of speak out to me here then. This side's gonna be a lot darker too. Even going over the eye. Darkness on that side. This may turn out absolutely terrible, but you get to watch me live trying to paint something off the top of my head with no rhyme or reason. It's hard to do for anybody, especially if they more are used to a certain other kind of style, which personally I am. I'm used to having my reference photos and doing stuff for clients based off of, you know, that kind of feel. So it's alright though, the way the world works. I think he needs to be a lot bumpier and grosser and get a lighter feel on this side here. Oop. So yeah, it's not going to be a very long stream tonight, just so you're kind of aware. It's probably going to only be about a full hour, because I'm still not really in the best mental state lately. But I didn't want to just kind of leave the few people who have, you know, new subscribers and stuff like that. Didn't want to leave you wondering what was going on here. Just in terms of, you know, where I am, why I haven't done a stream lately or anything like that. And, you know, it wasn't a vacation or anything glamorous. It was more mentally, I just couldn't bring myself to come in front of the camera lately. So, like I said, if you didn't hear in the beginning, I am going to be doing once a week live streams. Make them more of events, bigger events out there instead of just, oh, that guy's talking about art again. Well, who really cares? And you can watch him any night kind of thing. I want to kind of bring it out there. And hey, Saturdays might not be the best day for it, but who knows? We'll see. If I need to change the day, if you guys have suggestions for a day or anything like that, I'm always open to hear them. Of course, I can't please everybody. There might be, 3 or 4 of you out there like, Saturdays are perfect. Others are like, Saturdays, are you insane? So, we'll find out. That have kind of an ear-like protrusion come out of his head over there. Let's get something close to that here. Who knows, by the end of this it might turn out okay. It might not. We'll see. I just want it to be kind of a silly, gross sci-fi kind of, old vibe. Hopefully it turns out good. I'd hate to offend my one-eyed, weird-eared tentacle creature thing. All the tentacle viewers out there. If there are tentacle viewers out there, that's weird. We've come to Earth to watch the fat guy paint. What? Why? Because we enjoy our portraits. What do you mean? We like the way we look in portrait form. We wish for him to do them more. That makes no sense. Neither does your planet. Oh, man. Put some teeth on him. Get him nice and sharp and jagged or whatever. Placeholders for the teeth are always fun. They usually tend to be pretty ridiculous, at least when I do them. Trying not to get really hung up on details really at all. Not until probably hour 2 or 3 of working on this eventually. So not for another few episodes will there actually be detail being thrown in here. But so far it's kind of funny. I'm enjoying this goofy guy so far. It's kind of like a cross between a squid creature and Mike from Monsters, Inc. There's worse things it could be than an alien from the sea. Newsflash. Weird tentacle, one-eyed creature looking much like one of Disney Pixar's creatures from Monsters Incorporated, seen being painted live on the YouTube. John Lasseter could not be reached for comment, because that's absolutely ridiculous. What's his hand on? It doesn't look like he's reaching out for anything anymore. What do we have here? What are we gonna do for his hand? Let's see. What do we need to think about now? What's going on with his hand? Is it definitely? It's not reaching out. This is more like a graduating school portrait for Monsters Inc. Let's see. Let's see how this turns out for us here today. Then. Oh well. Trying to think what it could end up possibly being that he has his hand on. We'll worry about that later, ultimately. Think of something and we can plop it in there at some point, and I'll chuckle about how I had no clue what to do 6 hours ago. Newsflash. Weird one-eyed tentacle creature poses for class portrait. What school would dare give him a degree in physics? I don't know why I thought all of a sudden this guy was a physics major or something. Away he goes. All I'm doing is just kind of trying to find forms, and it's almost like sculpting in a way, especially when you're working with the technique here that I'm doing, where it's just kind of really free form and just working in values, not worried about what the colors are yet or anything like that. Just sculpting with light, basically, and doing silly news flashes for no reason. Newsflash. Colorado-based artist says he has no rhyme or reason for doing his news flashes. Film at 11. Which kind of was 11 when I started, so that fits. So, I wanted to define his neck a little bit differently here. He doesn't need to be bulked out and crazy looking like that, so shave that down there. Just a hair. Wondering if it should be some type of something cheesy like a skull down there, or like the head of a cat. Not a dead cat, just like a regular old kitty cat. I don't know yet. Give him a little bit of manicure. This is gonna be the most ridiculous thing I've done in a while, to be fair. Newsflash, ridiculousness is funny. Someone tell me to please stop doing these news flashes, because they're annoying me at this point, but my brain won't let me stop doing them. At least I'm not doing them in ridiculous impressions yet. Yes, I said yet. Now at some point I'm going to do some type of ridiculous impression. It's going to just make everybody's eye roll. Get it? Because he has an eye. Alrighty. I'll shape his head a little differently here. Wonderful. I'm just laughing at myself when it comes to this. Oh man. I am ridiculous. I think I want to have him probably drooling a little bit. I think that'd be pretty funny. I'm gonna draw in some drool. A little bit. All I'm really doing is just amusing myself at this point. Can't amuse yourself? What's the point sometimes, huh? Close up this side of his mouth a little bit. Kind of a goofy grin. Like, this is me in one-eyed slug art form. Yeah. Your ridiculousness. Yeah, what I do when I'm doing something crazy in freeform like this is I just have fun with it, because if it doesn't turn out to be a piece I sell or even like, I'm still practicing and getting better at doing stuff, because I'll learn from my mistakes. And not that I think this one is a mistake, really. I think it might be a mistake to have his hand in there, so I'm probably getting rid of that. In fact, I am. I don't think well, maybe. I'll always draw in another hand later, but as of right now, I'll leave it in. I'll leave it in. Indecisive as hell, but I just don't know what to put there. It's a funny idea. Like I see so much humor possibilities in this idea of just having this weird alien gripping something, even if it's just something like an arm of a chair or something. Maybe it just needs to be smaller. Here's what I'm gonna do. paint it out. And if I decide on what I'm gonna have it be, if anything, I think I got it. I think just from cutting it out, it gave me an absurd idea. So let's see what we can do with that. My pop filter is giving me nothing but a headache tonight. A pain in my butt. I don't even think I say the letter P often enough for this to really be an issue. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of the pop filter for the night. You wouldn't believe the issues I've had with this particular filter. It's been really, really bad. It came to me in a broken state. Let's see if that helps any. Nope. It came to me broke, and trying to fix it's been a nightmare. But it was one of those kind of free gift things. So I would have had to return everything, and everything else works fine. So here's where we are with our I still don't know what to call him yet. Looks like a Fred. Maybe. I don't know. All I know is he's ridiculous, really. Ridiculously funny. He's funny to me. I think it's just the look that's on his face. It's just a funny look. He's squinting his eye a little bit, maybe. Yeah. And like he's giving the people's eyebrow. I wonder if this type of creature, and this is stuff I always think about. Why is that microphone so high? So I get when I move stuff around. I have no clue where the positioning of things is anymore. With this eye, does he have one tear duct? Does he have any tear ducts? That's something you have to think about. He does have a tear duct. Which side would it be on? Would it be underneath his eye near his water line? Like, would it be down here? Would he have just kind of a long tear duct? I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll figure it out. Also have to make sure I have the perspective of his eye right. Put that in on there. Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's all one big process of fun. At least I find it fun when things are going pretty okay. A little bit dark on it. Like I said, I'm not really worrying about detail too much. Like, I'm only 16% zoomed in right now. There really is nothing to detail. Like, if I zoomed in on this and we really take it, like, say if we take a look at those, the teeth and stuff, you really zoom in on it, like, say to 100%, you'll notice it's just a inconceivable mess of just blotches and all that kind of fun stuff, even at 25%. When you zoom out and you see the values and everything, that's the important part. There we go. One more. Alright. So, nothing much yet. But it might be. It might end up being something special. little bit of a ring light around him. Oop. Very nice indeed. I told you stupid impressions were coming. You didn't believe me? That's your fault. A lovely, lovely thing you're doing there. Bringing to light all of the aliens. All of the aliens indeed. Make the aliens smile. Make them drool. Give them personalities. It's great how that works. Okay. So with that being said, like I said, I was only gonna make about an hour tonight, so we are rounding up on the end of things. If you're watching this not live, which if you're watching this, be honest with you, you're probably not watching it live. Most of my views do not come from my live streams itself. Another reason I'm not going to do them every night. Just because if there's no one watching at all other than myself, you know, there's no need to live stream it. I can just take my time and do a post up and go from there. But if you are watching this later, I want to thank you for tuning in. Like I said, we finished up the portrait for the anniversary present, and now what we're going to be doing for the next couple of streams, or at least next couple of videos, is going ahead and working on this guy, because I find him kind of funny. And what's going to end up happening, I'm going to do it on another layer just to kind of show you guys what we're going to do. What I'm planning on for this guy, and I saw it as I deleted it, as I was deleting out the hand, because I kept calling him a tentacle creature, but he didn't actually have a tentacle. He had a big eye, and he has kind of suction cup ear things. So I am going to actually have him have a tentacle. Something kind of like this. Get some shading in. Going up and over his shoulder. That's what I'm thinking, is something kind of like this. As ridiculous as it may seem, I think it's going to be pretty wondrous. So I'm just going to put that in there. It's making me laugh, and that's all that matters right now. I needed a good laugh. I haven't laughed in a couple days, to be honest with you. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be throwing in this tentacle here. And have a happy day with him. You understand how happy he is that he gets to have his portrait taken. Graduation's coming up soon, and all of his Earth friends really accepted him despite his looks. He couldn't believe how fantastic it really was to learn about Earth physics and correct every single one of his professors over and over again. To enlighten them and to graduate was his ultimate goal. He's so happy he was able to do it for everybody. Spread his cosmic knowledge. And to get into so many monkey shines like teenagers do. So with that being said, before I go off my deep end here, that's where we're going to end it with our lovely little friend here. I don't know what to name him yet. I thought Fred, but he doesn't feel like a Fred now that he has tentacles. But thank you so much for watching. I am ThatStevenRice signing off for the night. Please join me throughout the week. Please hit the subscribe button, which is over there now. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and you'll get notified when I do my uploads. I'm going to be uploading some time-lapse of me working on my good old friend here, too. So, with that all being said, ThatStevenRice signing off once again with another episode of Do You Even Art? Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I need to think of a much shorter and less awkward exit.